Hey, what's going on, guys? So, if you guys want to drive in Thailand, is a license required? Not necessarily. Like, you can get a rental car or a rental bike without a license. Like, the rental agencies, they don't care whether you have a license or not. But should you, if you're staying here long term, yes. Like, if you're gonna be here 6 months plus, I think you should look into getting a license. It'll definitely save you from fines for one, help with the insurance as well. If you guys are just coming and visiting for a month or less, like, honestly, you should be fine on that. But if you guys are like plan to live here or at least stay here for 6+ months, it's definitely worth to get it. Couple ways you can get it. You can either go through an agency and get it, or you can go to the Department of Land Transportation, and depending on where you're going to be staying, if you're in Bangkok, then you go to Department of Land Transportation and they'll let you know like the documents that you need. It's typically like a medical certificate, a copy of your lease agreement, your TM30, like certified copy from the embassy, from your embassy, whatever country you guys are from, and coming to visit. I'm coming from America, so this was kind of my process on what I needed to do. But the agency was really able to help me out a lot and kind of streamline the process. You go to school for a couple of days and you have to do a road test and a written test. And once you complete that, they'll give you like a certificate of completion, pretty much, of completing the school. Take that, go to Department of Land Transportation. They'll issue you, like, it's called a temporary license, which is for 2 years. So right now mine is good. I got mine end of last year, December, almost this time last year. So I'm good for 1 more year. Afterwards, when I renew it, it'll technically be a permanent license, and it'll be good for 5 years. So yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you guys want to get a license, if you guys are staying here a long time, I would recommend it. And if you're going through checkpoints and stuff, sometimes, and I know in America we don't really have random checkpoints often. Usually, if it's like at nighttime or something like that, and they're checking for alcohol, maybe, but that's rare. But here they'll do random checkpoints throughout the day, daytime, especially nighttime. But if you go through a checkpoint during the daytime, more than likely it's going to be for either they're going to check your speed or it's going to be to check your license. So it's definitely worth having. And yeah, funny story about, and the main reason why I actually got my license in the first place, funny story, in Phuket, I went through a checkpoint on a motorbike. I was with my wife, and we didn't have a helmet on, so it was my fault from the beginning. And we're pulling up to a checkpoint. He flags us to pull over, and he's checking to see if I got a license. I didn't have my license at the time, and so I give him my passport. So he takes my passport and pretty much tells me like, hey, you need to go to the police station and pay a fine. The fine was 1,500 baht. It was, I want to say 1,000 for not, I believe it was like 1,000 for not having a license, and then 500 baht for both of us not having a helmet on, 250 apiece. So I go to the police station down the street, go to pay my fine, which took about, I want to say maybe 30 minutes max. And 1,500 baht in USD is about $45 US. So it's not like it's not that bad. Like, as far as the fine goes, it's pretty easy going. Just pay it, you're done. They give you pretty much like a letter that states that, hey, your fine is paid, and I believe it's good for about 2 or 3 days. So if you run into a cop again, then you just show them that paper and you let them know like, hey, I was just fined a day or two ago, so you're good. But I come back to the checkpoint to go get my passport, and it started raining a bit. So by the time we got back to the checkpoint, the cops weren't there. So I'm like, I gave my passport to an officer who I don't necessarily know. I can't read the language. So this officer has my passport. I didn't know where exactly to go, so we just went right back to the police station. Fortunately, it was the only one in the area. If you're from America, you know that there's multiple police stations in certain cities, so it can be kind of complicated if you're trying to find one. And fortunately in Phuket there's only one, so we went back to the police station, and fortunately the officer that had took my passport was literally standing right there waiting for us. And my wife was not arguing with him, but like kind of made a funny joke of like, where were you? We were looking for you. It's like, oh, it started raining. He responded to us like, oh, it started raining. So I came back here. And mind you, like, my heart dropped, because obviously as a foreigner and you don't have your passport, that's pretty much your lifeblood. The only other option is to pretty much go to the embassy, try to get a temporary passport. So yeah, my heart, needless to say, my heart dropped, and I needed my passport to head back to to fly back to Bangkok a couple weeks later. So yeah, long story short, go get if you guys are staying here, go get your license. It'll help you save you money for fines, and yeah, it just makes things a little bit easier and just kind of gives you that sense of relief of like, okay, cool, you can drive without really too much issue, and yeah, you guys can get around a lot easier. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on if you need a license or not, and the process on how to get a license, some of the documents you may need. And yeah, like I said, the course itself, 2 days for your car, 2 days for your motorcycle. I ended up getting both. Yeah, and hopefully this helps you guys out. This is coming from American perspective, so maybe for UK or another country in Europe, or outside of Europe, maybe a little bit different. But that was just my process. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming out with more information as far as different visas and stuff like that you guys can look into if you guys want to stay here for 6+ months. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.